2022 Road Glide ST. HTJ's first ever ride on a Harley Davidson Road Glide. Well, here we go, folks. As I said, my first ever ride on a Harley Davidson Road Glide of any sort. The standard, the special, the CVOs, now the ST. So what I'm on today is a 2022 Harley Davidson Road Glide ST. So this video will double as my first impressions on a Road Glide, but also a test ride and review of the Road Glide ST. So first of all, before I forget, a big thanks to the fine folk at Central Coast Harley Davidson at West Gosford in New South Wales, Australia. Limited demos available at that dealership and most dealerships at the moment because of stock shortages, but they've been fantastic in allowing me to jump onto this bike today. So thank you, Sandro, Kev, all the team. You're all legends. Okay, so 2022 Road Glide ST. What are the differences between the ST, the sport touring range of Harley Davidsons, and the specials and whatnot? Well, the fairing and all that sort of stuff, the body shape is all 100% the same. The STs have the bronze accents, a la the tank design, which is a direct replica of the Lowrider S, with the bronze accent and the dropped H in the Harley name. Bronze rocker box covers, bronze Prodigy wheels, which I'm absolutely in love with. I've got the black Prodigy wheels on my 2020 Street Glide Special. That wind's getting pretty strong now. Wow, but I love the bronze Prodigy wheels. I love the whole black and bronze combo on the ST range, whether it's the Lowrider S, the Street Glide versions, or the Road Glide versions. Absolutely stunning. What else comes stock with the ST Road Glide? You get the heavy breather intake as standard. You get a 117 cubic inch motor, which is 3 more than what I have on my Street Glide Special. And of course, what has sparked so much debate in the Harley Davidson community after the release of the ST range is that the displacement in the STs is now the same as what you get in the CVO range. Go back a handful of videos to the one that Rochelle and I published, where we're sitting in Rochelle's truck talking about whether Harley Davidson should put 131s in their CVOs. I'll give you a bit of a rundown on what I think about that 117 versus 131 versus 114 debate. Personally, I don't think that the CVOs need it, and I have no problem with the ST range having the 117, the same as the CVO. There are so many more features and so many more reasons to buy a CVO than whether it has the biggest engine displacement or not. That's just my opinion, which may rub a lot of people up the wrong way. Okay, so what are the other stock features of the Road Glide ST, which are the same as the Street Glide ST? Well, you get standard panniers. That is, they sit up above the exhaust, much the same as a Road King. You don't get the stretched bags. You do get a taller shock. The shock in the ST range is 1 inch taller than a standard or a special. So the reasons for the standard panniers or bags and the 1 inch taller shock is that it's an ST. It's designed for sport touring. It's designed to be a platform for you to ride in a more aggressive nature. And of course, there are a lot of things that people would want to upgrade on this bike to really, really make it a sport touring bike. But I think that Harley Davidson have laid out a very worthy platform for which riders can build upon. So the idea, of course, with the bag option and the shock option is that you've got more clearance than a standard Street Glide or Road Glide or a special. So I think that's a good feature for those more aggressive riders. So price-wise, I think there's a slight difference between the Road Glide and the Street Glide version, but we'll call it 45,000 Australian. So a Street Glide and Road Glide Special retail at 42,000. The STs are 45,000. If you already owned a Street Glide or a Road Glide Special, would you trade it up for an ST version? Engine displacement wise, 117 versus 114, the difference is relatively negligible, but you do get the heavy breather intake as stock. If you love the bronze accents as I do, then that's a big bonus to trade up to that. But you know, if you were coming into the touring range fresh and looking at your options, you might want to go straight to the ST. If you've already got the Special, not sure about it. Could go either way. The other thing that I needed to mention was the seat, the stock seat on these STs. Not very, very comfortable early on, and I've only been on the bike for around about half an hour. It does bring you forward. It feels like I'm about an inch or two closer to the fairing, but on a Road Glide, I think that's negated by the fact that the fairing moves away from you anyway. So if I had this seat in this position on the Street Glide, it would make me feel uncomfortable. And for those of you who are unaware, I'm 6'3", so just to give you a bit of indication. But you know, we all know that most people swap out the seat within the first year or so that they're owning a bike anyway. Well, there's in my opinion, there's one flaw with that open nature. Get the gear going right, Rog. With the open nature of that fairing, because as I pulled up to the lights there, a gust of wind hit and a small branch came down off one of the trees and lodged just in there inside the fairing, and I'm thinking, that wouldn't happen with a Street Glide, champ. Yeah, pretty light and agile. I'm starting to see why the Road Glide owners and riders say that they love being on the Road Glides all day. I can see why. I still prefer the Street Glide setup, but I can see why they're saying that they're more comfortable on these, because they're a little lighter and a little more nimble, and you're also not confronted with the instrument cluster on the Street Glide fairing, the Batwing fairing right here. It just tends to move away from you. Oh, that was a huge... In the camera, did you see my head move to the right then? That was a massive gust of wind. And for the most part, this fairing is doing a reasonably good job of blocking the wind, but there are certain times where it is just howling over the top of it and around this fairing. I will say though that this is probably the windiest day we've had in our region for quite some time, so I'm not going to bag on the bike just yet. I tell you what, I've hit some twigs today and branches. Unbelievable winds here today. Okay, time for a little bit of a mini rip up Bumble Hill Road. I will have to be a little bit conservative though, not only because I don't own the bike, but because of all the wind today. I suspect, and I'm already seeing evidence of it, that there's a lot of leaves and twigs and branches all over the road, and that can tend to be quite dangerous. But anyway, I shall shut up now and you can enjoy Bumble Hill Road. Okay, time to get this beast back to the dealership. Thank you so much once again to Central Coast Harley Davidson at West Gosford in New South Wales for the opportunity to ride this 2022 Harley Davidson Road Glide ST today. My final thoughts. First of all, first time ever that I've been on a road glide of any sort. Very light, very nimble, a little more light and nimble than the street glide. There's no doubt about that whatsoever. Is it a deal breaker between the two? No. As far as I'm concerned, the differences between road glides and street glides, technically there are small differences, but I think it just comes down to personal preference. The road glide versus street glide debate will rage on forever, but it just comes down to personal choice. As far as I'm concerned, there's not enough difference in performance and feel between them. You may disagree with that, and that's your prerogative. That's fine. That's just my opinion. But I really enjoyed it. I can see why. Just feeling the bike and looking forward at the instrumentation and whatnot, I can see why road glide owners would say, I'd prefer to be on that than a street glide if I'm riding all day and doing weekenders and long tours and whatnot. I get it. I can see where you might feel like that's an advantage. I still prefer the look and the feel of the street glide, but I could easily own a road glide and be more than happy with it. I don't have a problem with the road glide. It's a beautiful bike. If you were to buy one of these and then hang on to the stock seat for a little while, I think, particularly if you're my height, which is 6'3", I think that if you're going to do that and stick with a stock seat for a little while, then you're going to have to change up these bars, because these bars sit way back towards me for my liking. But most people swap out the bars, right? But if you're a lot shorter than I am, this handlebar and seat combo just might be comfortable enough for you for a year or two before you even decide to swap it out. So no biggie. Most people swap those things out anyway. Performance-wise, with a 117 cubic inch motor, well, I'm very, very familiar with that because I've been on Rochelle's 2019 CVO Street Glide a number of times. Plenty of power, just tons and tons of torque, very, very responsive, and with the ST you get the heavy breather intake as well, so that little combo adds up to a nice beefy, torquey power package. How about that for a group of adjectives? The ST range, irrespective of whether you're going road glide, street glide or lowrider S, you can only do vivid black, which is what this is, or the gunship grey. So anyway, I've wound up doing what I absolutely detest doing, and that is talking at a set of lights while the bike is stopped. So I think I'll just wind this video up right here and now. We're only a short distance away from the dealership anyway. So I will say, hope you enjoyed the video. I hope it's given you food for thought regarding this bike. If you hadn't already done some research before, I strongly suggest and recommend that you get out and ride one and see how it feels. I thank you for watching. I thank you for your support for our channel. We love you guys, we respect you guys, and we love what you do. We will catch you next time on Harley Throttle Juice. See you guys.